Hello, my name's Carmen. I will be teaching today's prenatal class. A really common affliction in pregnancy, of course, is a sore back. I myself have been suffering a little bit from a sore lower back. So today's class is going to really focus on that and ways to stretch your back out in a safe way, as well as really focusing on strengthening through the core to help support your spine better to avoid any back pain. Of course, throughout pregnancy, as your abs separate, a lot of core strength is lost. But there are some really safe ways to strengthen through the obliques and up your back as well to help support the spine. So that is what today's class will kind of focus on and center around to make sure that you're feeling strong in your spine and relieving any pain that might be there. So to begin today, all you need is a mat and come to sit down in a comfortable position, preferably cross-legged if you would like to be sitting on a pillow or a block or a blanket. You're more than welcome to do that. So just find a comfortable seat, relax your shoulders down your spine, and start to focus on your breathing. Nice slow breath. And this is going to be our first opportunity to really check in with how our posture is and how our back is feeling today. So as you're sitting here, I just want you to kind of pay attention to the way that you're sitting here. So making sure you're not slouching down or rounding your spine in any way that could cause pain later on. So focus on engaging your core to help lift you up, bringing in your belly a little bit closer to your spine so that your lower back is in more of a neutral position and not rounding one way or the other. Shoulders are relaxed down, sitting nice and tall. Feel both your sit bones pressing into the mat. And just remember how this feels, this nice, strong, neutral alignment. We're just going to start to wake up the spine and all the joints by doing some really nice big circles. So as you come forward, keep your chest nice and open, belly drops low, then rotating all the way over to the side. And as you come back, roll your shoulders forward, spine presses back, over to the other side. Going nice and slow, just feeling every crunch and crack and stretch of every muscle. And try not to hold any tension in any side you go to. Just breathe through any tough spots. Just start to warm up all the joints. Switching directions when it feels good. And always remembering to breathe. Nice deep breaths. In and out through the nose. Okay, when that feels complete, just come back to center. Again, checking in that you're in that neutral alignment. You're not falling forward or backwards, nice and strong through the core. Place your right hand beside you, and then inhale and lift your left arm nice and tall. And as you exhale, bend over to the side, keeping both of your sit bones on the mat. Inhale to come up, and exhale over to the other side. Inhale, come up. Go back to the first side. Trying to stretch just a little bit deeper each time. Use your inhale to help pull you up, and exhale, release to the side. Feeling a nice deep stretch all the way up to the side of your body. You should feel that a little bit in your back too. Really nice and releasing. And last side. Inhale back to center and drop your arms down. Just going to tip forward into a tabletop position. So having your wrists below your shoulders, your knees below your hips with your knees about hip width distance apart. Push up out of your hands, out of your shoulders, so again, not collapsing down or rounding your back. You want to push up nice and strong, looking for that nice flat back. We're going to do a couple of cat-cows, which is really releasing for the spine as well. So as you inhale, drop your belly down and your gaze comes up. Exhale, round your back, push into your hands, and stretch through your spine. Inhale back to cow, and exhale to cat. Do a couple more, following your own breath. Last really deep exhale in cat. Okay, come back to your neutral spine. We're going to do a couple of bird dogs or leg lifts. This is a great way in pregnancy to keep a really strong core or focus on your core without doing crunches or anything that might be dangerous. So extend your left leg out behind you and then reach your right hand forward. Find your balance here because we're going to lift arm and leg. Take a deep breath in, stare down at a point on your mat to help you to balance. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, lift your arm and your leg up. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Keep going. Do one more, and at the top of this one, hold. Deep breath in, and exhale, release. Okay, great. Come back to that neutral position. Extend your right leg behind you with your left arm out in front. Find your balance, your focal point. Take a deep breath in, and exhale for the other side. Next one, hold it at the top. And exhale, come back down. Great. Tuck your toes under with your feet about hip width distance apart. Press down into your hands really strong, spread your fingers wide. And as you exhale, lift your knees and lift your hips up towards the ceiling, coming back into down dog. If you need to spread your feet a little bit wider to accommodate your belly, you can do that. Alternate bending your knees and stretching out the backs of your legs. You can have your knees bent a lot if that feels better for you, just really listening to your body. Working to press your heels down into the mat. Bend your knees a lot, and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Once you get there, you can have your knees bent as much as you need, and relax your upper body down into a forward fold. You can grab opposite elbows and swing gently from side to side. Forward folds are really releasing for your lower back especially. As long as you let your head and upper body fall heavy, which you may need to bend your knees in order to do that, it's a really great way to stretch out a sore back. Place your hands on your shins and bend your knees, and then slowly roll all the way up to standing. At the top, just roll your shoulders back and down your spine. Take a moment there. Awesome. Place your hands on your lower back for support, and then take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, look up towards the ceiling. Just really gently push your hips forward and bend backwards just a little bit. It's a counter stretch to the forward fold. Inhale and come back up. Great, just really nice release. Okay, place your hands on your hips, and you're going to step forward really big with your left foot. Have both of your toes pointing in the same direction, so coming into a lunge position. From here, inhale and bring your arms up overhead, gazing up towards the ceiling if you can, or you can look straight ahead, making sure your shoulders aren't coming up towards your ears, just nice and relaxed. Take a couple of breaths. Bring both your hands down to your front thigh to kind of help you lower down to the mat. Place your right hand beside your left foot there, and then on your next exhale, reach your left hand up towards the ceiling for a gentle twist. You can lower your back knee if that's more comfortable. Make sure you're pushing up out of your lower shoulders, so not collapsing down. You want to push up nice and strong. Lower the left hand back down. If you had your knee lifted, lower it now. And then walk your hands back towards your hips, letting your left toes come up. And if you can, just grab them for a little bit of a calf stretch. Great. Walk your hands back forward, toes tucked under and lift up. You can use your thigh to help push you back up into that lunge, and bring your arms up overhead again. Inhale and stand all the way up. Rotate towards the side of the mat. Walk your toes in just a little bit, with your toes pointing out towards the sides of the room as much as you can. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, and then exhale, lower down into a goddess pose. So when you do this, I want you to kind of imagine sliding down a wall. So you're not sticking your butt out or hinging forward. Just try to stay as straight as you can, and only lower as far as is comfortable for you. So if it's only a little bit, that's totally okay. Just come to whatever point is comfortable. Place your hands on your thighs, and then you can alternate twisting your shoulders in and out. Do a couple of these. Again, very releasing for the spine. Okay, last one. Come back to center. Inhale, lift your arms up, straighten your legs. And exhale, release your arms down. You're gonna come into that lunge on the other side, so just rotate to face the other side of your mat. So you'll have your right foot forward and your left foot back, coming into that lunge. So lowering down. Inhale and bring your arms up overhead. Couple of deep breaths. Bring your hands to your thigh, help you lower down to get your left hand onto the mat there. You can lower that back knee again if that's more comfortable. And then on your next exhale, twist the right hand up towards the ceiling. Pushing up out of that lower shoulder, nice and strong. On your next inhale, untwist, and then walk your hands back towards your hips, letting your right toes lift up, and if you can, just grab on and pull back very gently. Just want to feel a good stretch up the back of your leg. Okay, walk your hands forward again. Lift up into that lunge and use your thigh to help bring you back up if you need. Inhale, bring your arms up and reach. And then exhale, you can straighten your legs, turn towards the long edge of your mat again. So in a really wide stance. Have your legs as far apart as you can and turn your toes just slightly pigeon-toed. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders back, deep inhale. And as you exhale, hinge forward, bending your knees a little bit to help you come down slowly. Once you're about halfway, place your hands on the floor in front of your face and relax down as far as you can go. You can have a little micro bend in your knees if that feels a bit more comfortable. Walk your hands over towards your right foot for a bit of a side stretch up the left side of your body. Keeping your head nice and relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And walk your hands over to the left. Come back to center. Place your left hand directly in front of your face. And as you exhale, twist open towards the right with your right hand pointing up towards the ceiling. And untwist. Switch your hands, so right hand in front of your face. Deep exhale and twist to the other side. And come back down to center. Bring your hands to your hips and bend your knees a lot. Inhale, lift up. Roll your shoulders back, and we're gonna come into warrior two. So keep your right foot parallel with the back edge of the mat. Turn your left foot to point directly out in front of you. Bring your arms up to either side, and as you exhale, lower down into warrior two. So similar to the goddess pose, when you come down, imagine that your back is flat against a wall. So your butt's not sticking out, your chest isn't falling forward, you're nice and straight. Tip your pelvis under. Bend into that front leg and make sure your knee isn't going past your toes. Back leg is nice and straight and strong. Arms reaching out. And just gently gaze out in front of your left hand. Bring your left forearm down onto your thigh and extend your right arm up overhead for an extended side angle. So looking to stretch out your obliques on the right side. Look down at the mat and your left foot, and then bring both hands down to frame your foot. Bend your knee as much as you need to get your hands down towards the mat, and then step your back leg forward just a little bit so that you have more of a pyramid shape. If you need to bring your hands to your shins in order to straighten your front leg or be more comfortable with your belly, then definitely do that. You want to work to straighten your front leg. If you need to have it bent in order to be in more of a comfortable position, that's totally fine. Just mindfully start to work towards straightening it. And if you can, just also work on bringing your hands back down to the mat. And this is pyramid pose. Bring your left hand to your left shin. And then if you can, rotate your top arm up towards the ceiling for triangle pose. You can look up at the ceiling. If that feels a little unstable, you can look down at the mat. And from here, if you're able to, you can keep your hand on your shin, or you can work to bring your fingertips down to the mat, just on the inside of your foot. Bend your front knee a little bit, your left knee, so that you can inhale and come all the way back up to standing. Reach nice and tall. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Okay, we're gonna swap our feet and go the other direction. So left foot parallel with the back edge of the mat. Turn your right foot, nice wide stance. So you have your toes pointing towards the front of the room. Inhale and bring your arms out to the side. Exhale, lower down into your warrior two. So remembering all those good things, you're not falling forward, pressing your shoulders back and down. Front leg nice and strong, but your knee is not passing your toes. Really soft gaze, not thinking about anything. Letting all the tension melt away. Bring your right forearm down to your thigh and extend your left arm up overhead for extended side angle. Look down at the mat, so you can bring your hands down to frame your foot. Step that left foot forward just a little bit for pyramid. Again, you can come up onto your shin if that's more comfortable. You can have that front leg bent if you need, just working towards straightening it. And comfortably working towards getting your hands or fingertips towards the mat. Place your right hand on your right shin, and then extend your left hand up towards the ceiling. Or triangle pose again, looking up at the ceiling if you want an added challenge, or down at the mat if you want a little extra stability. And working to get the fingertips towards the mat as well. Bend your front knee, your right knee. Inhale and come all the way back up to standing. Reach your hands nice and tall, stretching up. And then exhale, release it back down. Awesome. Come to stand at the back of your mat. Do one of those gentle back bends again. So place your hands on your lower back. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, look at the ceiling. Press your hips forward. Just very gently bend back. And use an inhale to come back up to standing. Great. Stand with your feet about hip width distance apart. Take a deep breath in and reach your arms up overhead. Stretching tall, and as you exhale, hinge forward at the waist, coming into a forward fold again. Take a quick breath there. Sway from side to side, or any really loose flowing movements that feel good for your lower back. Okay, look forward and walk your hands out to about a plank pose, and then push your hips back into downward dog. Just take a couple of breaths here. Lower down into a tabletop position, so on your hands and your knees. Nice, strong, neutral spine. You're going to inhale and bring your left hand up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, swing it through under your chest and lower your left shoulder onto the mat. Lower your head down and relax. You can keep your right hand on the mat for support, or you can bring it to your lower back for a bit more of an opening twist to the side. Push into your right hand to help lift you back up. Left hand unwinds and comes back to tabletop. Do that on the other side. So deep inhale, lift your right hand up and open. And then exhale, sweep it through. Bring your left hand back down, press into it to help lift you up. Tabletop position. You can do a cat, stretch through your back. All right, and then just sit back to a nice seated position here. Extend your left leg out in front and just bring it so that your heel is just off the edge of the mat. So hips facing forward, bending your right foot in to touch your thigh, and then left foot just off the edge. Inhale your left arm nice and tall, and as you exhale, reach forward, aiming to grab onto your toes, but totally fine if you're just reaching for your shin or your ankle, whatever point you can get to today, and just try to work to bring your chest forward in a straight line with the mat, so not off to the side, coming over your leg, but just tipping straight forward so your chest is lowering towards the mat, using your hand and your leg as a bit of leverage, keeping a really straight, neutral spine. Shoulders are relaxed. And with each exhale, just pulling ever so slightly deeper. Big inhale to help bring you back up. And we'll switch legs, so extend your right leg out, bring the left one in. Your right hand nice and tall. And as you exhale, reach that hand forward again, tipping straight forward, so straight down onto your mat. Chest nice and open, lowering down. Come back up. Great. Bring the soles of your feet to touch in front of you in cobbler pose. Get to a point where your hips are comfortable here and the soles of your feet can touch. If you can grab onto your feet, then maybe scoot them a little bit closer, as long as it's not causing any discomfort in your hips. Take a deep breath in and straighten up through the spine. Crown of your head reaches nice and tall. Shoulders relax down. You can interlace your fingers behind your feet if that's accessible, and work to push your knees a little bit further away. Sitting nice and tall. Checking in with your spine, see if you notice any difference now compared to when you started the class? Feels warmed up, a little bit looser, a bit more stable. And whenever you're ready, we'll come into our final resting pose, Shavasana, especially after one of these more kind of healing classes where you're focusing on a specific area of the body. You want to make sure you take a couple of minutes to just let the practice sink in. So to help accommodate your belly, we won't do a traditional Shavasana on our backs. Instead, I invite you to lay on your left side. You can use pillows if that's more comfortable, either under your head or between your knees. You can use your arm to help support your head, so lowering down onto your left side, making sure your belly feels supported. Placing your right hand on your belly, finding that connection to baby. Close your eyes. Let your body feel heavy and relaxed. And just take some deep breaths to close the practice. Feel free to stay in this pose as long as you would like, as long as you need. If you're ready, you can push yourself back up to seated very gently. Back to a seated position, moving nice and slow. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I hope that you feel all the benefits that I intended for this class to give you. I invite you to return to it as many times as you need. It's been very beneficial for me and my lower back pain, so I hope you experience similar relief. And thank you again. Namaste.